Welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make this Crochet Sunburst Granny Square top. Yes, it's a very simple process to make. Yeah, it's a very simple top to make. And yeah, this is a top that you can make within 8 hours or less. Yes, if you're very fast. And it's very much beginner friendly. And you just need to know your basic stitches, like they have double crochet stitches and how to make the Sunburst Granny Square. Yeah, so that's basically it. So let's get right into the tutorial. The materials needed for this work, you're going to be using your ball of yarn, and this is a 40-gram yarn. Yeah, this is the yarn I usually use for most of my tutorials, so you should be familiar with this yarn by now if you're not new to the channel. So and this is a 3-ply yarn, and I'm making use of 2 strands, which is this thing, which is going to make a 6-ply. Yeah, and I'm going to be making use of a 4.5mm crochet hook, and I'm going to be making use of my scissors and my darning needle to sew my granny squares together, because I'm going to be using the sewing method. And then your stitch markers to hold the granny squares in place, because there's where I want to like do my color arrangement, so you can probably use your stitch markers to hold your squares in place. And then your measuring tape, and this measuring tape is kind of optional if I'm to put it, but yeah, but I'll show you where you can use the measuring tape, and it's also optional to make use of this. So let's get right into the tutorial. So I'm going to be starting with this color first. So I'm just going to take this I already have my double strand already, like this, and then I'm going to take this and then make a magic circle like this. And I'm going to make a chain of 3. 1, 2, 3, and this chain 3 is going to stand as your first double crochet. It's going to stand as the first double crochet, and then in this magic circle we are going to be making 15 more double crochet stitches, and plus this chain 3, which is going to make it 16 double crochet. So yarn over, make your first double crochet. 1, 2, 3. So I'm just going to continue to make 1 double crochet stitch 15. So I'm going to make 15 double crochet stitches in this circle, and then I'll meet you guys when I'm done my 15 double crochet stitches. So I already have 3, so I'm just going to go ahead and make 12 more. So once you have your 15 double crochet stitches, then you're just going to take this strand here and then pull it to close the circle. And then don't forget that I said that this chain 3 that you made at the beginning counts as your first double crochet, so that is 16 double crochet stitches in total for round 1. And then to close this round, you're now going to take your hook and then insert it on top of the first chain of the chain 3, and then insert a slip stitch there like this, and then make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn. You're entering round 2 now. So for round 2, you're going to take your new yarn, your new color of yarn, and then you're going to insert your hook into any of the double crochet stitches you made. Start your hook here, and take your yarn and then pull it through. I always prefer to tie my yarn to secure it, but if I don't decide to go in with it like that, but I always prefer to tie mine. So after you tie it, you're going to insert your back into that double crochet stitch. Then you're going to pull up a loop and then make a chain of 2, 1, 2, like this. Then you're going to yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over again, insert your hook, pull up a loop, and then the last time yarn over again, insert your hook, pull up a loop. So you should have 7 loops on this your hook. So let's count: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is 7 loops, and then I'm going to yarn over and then pull through all the 7 loops on my hook like this, and then I'm going to make a chain of 1. So I'm basically going to be repeating this, what I did here, in every double crochet stitch I made. So let's repeat that again for the second double crochet. So because you should have 16 puff stitches in total, this is how to make a puff stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next double crochet stitch, pull up a loop, don't complete this, yarn over, insert your hook again, pull up a loop like this, then yarn over, insert your hook to the next double crochet stitch, pull up a loop like this. Remember, you should have 7 loops on your hook, and then yarn over, pull through all 7 loops like this, and then make a chain of 1. This is what you should be having. So just keep repeating the process of yarning over, pulling up a loop 3 times in each double crochet stitch. So let's do that one more time, then I'll stop. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, repeat this 3 times, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop. Sorry about that. Pull up a loop, and then you should have 7 loops on your hook, then yarn over, pull through all 3, and then make a chain of 1. So I'm just going to keep repeating this process in every double crochet stitch until you reach the end. So how to ensure you know what you're doing is correct? You should have 16 puff stitches in total at the end. Okay, so I am on the last part. I finished it. So let's count it to ensure it's 16 puff stitches in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we have 16 puff stitches in total at the end of this round. And then to close this round, you're now going to take your hook, insert it into this chain 1 you made. Don't insert it on this chain 3. Insert it into on this chain 2. I mean, insert it into this chain 1. There's a chain 1 space, so insert it there, and then make a slip stitch like this, and then chain 1. And cut your yarn. And this is what you should be having at the end of round 2. So for round 3, you're going to take your new color, insert it under any chain 1 space, any chain 1 space of your choice, under any one, like this, under any one, and then take your yarn and hook and pull it through. Remember, you can tie if you want it to be more secure. And anytime I'm working with this, and I always like working with this strand, yeah, then I can just cut the excess. Then the next thing you're going to do, you're now going to insert your hook under that chain 1 space again, pull up a loop. You're going to make a chain of 3. So 1, 2, 3, like this. And then you're going to yarn over, insert your hook under that chain 1 space, pull up a loop like this. You should have 3 loops on your hook, and then yarn over, pull through 2 loops. You should have 2 loops on your hook. Then yarn over again, insert your hook under that chain 1 space, pull up a loop. You should have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over again, pull through 2. You should have 3 loops on your hook. And then we are going to do this until we have 4 loops on our hook. So we're going to do that for the last time. So yarn over again, insert your hook under that chain 1 space, pull up a loop like this. Then yarn over, pull through 2 loops. You should have 4 loops on your hook like this. And then yarn over, pull through all 4 loops. And then you make a chain of 2. 1, 2. So for the next stitches, this is going to be different from what I did here. We are supposed to end with 5 loops on our hook. So for the next, under the next chain 1 space, yarn over, go under the next chain 1 space, pull up a loop like this. You should have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over again, insert your hook, pull up a loop. Yarn over again, pull through all 2. You should have 3 loops on your hook. Remember what I said, you're supposed to do this till you have 5 loops. Then yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop. Yarn over again, pull through 2. You should have 4. Then we are going to do that for the last time till we have 5 loops on our hook. So yarn over, insert your hook under that chain 1 space, pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2. Then we have 5 loops on our hook, and then final thing, yarn over, pull through all 5 loops like this. Then make a chain of 2. So you're going to basically repeat what you did in this second one for every stitch you have. So let me do that for the last time. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, 1, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, 2. The second time, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. The third time, and you're going to do this for the last time. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Then you should have 5 loops on your hoop, and then yarn over, pull through all 5, and then make a chain of 2. So basically repeat what you did here in every stitch until the end, and I'll meet you guys when I'm there. Okay, so we are at the end of this round. Then make your chain of 2, and then you're going to make a slip stitch to close this round. You need to make a slip stitch in this space here, not the chain 1 space, in this space before the chain 1 space. There are 2 spaces, this space and this space. So go into the space with a slip stitch like this, then make a chain of 1, and then cut your yarn. So this is what your round 3 should be looking like. I remember 16 stitches again. Yeah, so we are entering round 4, which is our last round. Normally for Sunburst Granny Squares we usually do about 5 rounds, but for this my work I'm going to be doing only 4 rounds of for the Sunburst Granny Square. Yeah, because I don't want my squares to be too big here for my top. Okay, so for round 4 you're going to take your yarn and then insert it under any chain 2 space, anyone under any chain 2 space. Then take your hook and then pull this through. Remember to tie. Tie it. Then take this here, and then for this we are going to be making corner. We're going to be making corner stitches. Let me show you how that's looking on my other square. Yeah, this is what we are going to be making. You need to insert your hook under this space and then pull up a loop, and then you're going to make a chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this 4 chain is going to stand as your first treble crochet. Yeah, because the corner comprises of treble crochet stitches. After you've made your first treble crochet, which is chain 4, or with 4 chains, you're going to yarn over twice and then make your second treble crochet. So pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So that is how to make a treble crochet. Then we're going to make our third one. Yarn over again, yarn over twice, insert your hook under that chain 2 space, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then you should have 3 treble crochet stitches here. And then after that you're going to now make a chain of 2 to form your corner. Then you're now going to make 3 more treble crochet stitches under the same chain 2 space. So yarn over twice, make your first one, yarn over again, make your second one, then yarn over again, make your third one, like this. So you have your corner completed, your first corner completed, and for this we are going to have 4 corners in total. So into the next chain, under the next chain 2 space, you're going to yarn over, make 3 double crochet stitches there. So 1, 2, 3. So you should have 3 double crochet stitches into the next one. I'm not going to take this loop again because it's already short, so you can just decide to cut it like this, and then into the next, under the next chain 2 space, yarn over, make 3 half double crochet stitches. So like this, and then into the next one, we're now going to make 3 double crochet stitches like this, and then we are going to repeat what we did here into the next one. I'm going to make our second corner. So make 3 treble crochet, chain 2, 3 treble crochet under this chain 2 space. So yarn over twice, make the first one 1, 2, 3, then make a chain of 2, 1, 2, like this, and then repeat the same thing, 3 treble crochet. So 1, 3. So you're just basically going to now repeat what you did here, 3 double crochet, 3 half double crochet, 3 double crochet. You're going to repeat it here. So you're just going to make, let me just show you what to do. You're going to make 3 double crochet, 3 half double crochet, 3 double crochet, then your corner. That's going to form your third corner. Then 3 double crochet, 3 half double crochet, 3 double crochet, then your corner. This is going to form your last corner. And then you're going to now do 3 double crochet, 3 half double crochet, 3 double crochet. Then you're now going to slip stitch here. So you should have 4 corners in total. So do this until you have 4 corners in total. And I'll meet you guys when I'm there. So yeah, I've reached the end. I remember what I said. You should have 4 corners in total. 1, 2, 3, 4. So to close this round, you're now going to make a slip stitch on top of the first chain of the chain 4. Sorry, I'm using black and if you can't see it properly, but make a slip stitch on top of the first chain of the chain 4 you made at first. You made initially, and then slip stitch, and then make a chain of 1, and then cut your yarn. So this is what you should be having. Here's what your square should be looking like. And then you're going to repeat the square for 5 more times because I'm making 5 squares in total. Okay, so you're going to repeat the square for 5 more times. Yes, 5 more times. Okay, so when you are successfully done with your squares, that's when you're done with this, your remaining squares. That is have 5 squares in total. You're going to block these squares. You might, blocking your squares is optional, but I want to block mine because I don't want mine to be stiff on my body, so I'm just going to block it slightly. I'm not going to block it a whole lot. I don't want my stitches to be a bit free. I don't want this to be like stiff on my body, and because Sunburst Granny Squares, you have a thing of almost being stiff. Yeah, so I'm just going to block this slightly, yeah, so it can be a bit free. Yeah, so that's basically what I'm going to do. So I'll meet you guys when I'm done with block. By the way, I am still blocking. Yeah, so you can decide to block it anyhow you want to block it, either using your using normal stem blocking, using your blocking board. Yeah, there are different ways of blocking, so I'll meet you guys when I am there. I forgot to mention that before you block, you can decide to cut your strands. Yeah, cut all the strands off or sewing all your loose ends before you block. Okay, so I have successfully blocked my squares together, and this is how they are looking like. Yeah, so the next thing we are going to do, we are going to be joining these squares. So I decided that you can join the squares using 2 methods, either the sewing method or using your hook to you make single crochet to sew it down like this. So I'm going to be showing you the 2 methods in which you can use to join the granny square stitches, and then you can decide later on which method I want to be using. So I'm going to show you first of all the sewing method, and then I'll show you how to do using the single crochet method to join the squares together. Yeah, so you can just pick any one you want. So let's get right into the sewing method first. Okay, sorry, but before you proceed to sewing either the joining method or any other method you want to use, just determine how you want your squares to be arranged. Yeah, determine how you want your squares to be arranged. So this is how I want my squares to be arranged. Yeah, this is how I want them to be arranged. So yeah, let's get right into the sewing method. Okay, so in order to do the sewing method, you're going to take any of the 2 squares, then turn them to the wrong side like this, lay them flat, turn them to the wrong side like this, and then you're now going to take the 2 of them and then place them like this, the wrong sides facing each other, place them like this. So this is the wrong side and this is the wrong side, and then you're going to take your threaded this thing yarn, you're going to take it like this, and then you're now going to, I know this is black and I don't know how you're going to see it properly, but I'll explain it as much as possible. But if you don't really understand, you can go to one of my videos. Yeah, the Sunburst Granny Square short tutorial. Yes, I explained how to join this properly. Yes, and also how to make the Sunburst Granny Square. So I'll put the link in the description box for you to go and check out that tutorial. Yeah, so how I normally do this, I go into the second chain, yeah, of this chain 2 that is here, one chain here, and then go into the second chain here of the second square, and then pull this through. But what I normally do, in order to secure this, I just take my hook and pass it through here, this loop like this. Pass it through here to hold that part, so it will be secure. And then in order to start, you're not going to go into the second loop here, because there are 2 loops. Yeah, there are 2 loops here, front loop and back. So you're going to go into the back loop of this square, the back loop of this square, and then go into the back loop of this square too. So there are 2 loops here for this square. So go into the, this is the front loop, this is the back. So go into the back loop here, and then sew it like this. Go into the back loop here of this stitch on this square. Go into the back loop here on this stitch on this square, and then sew it like this. Go into the back loop of this square. Go into the back loop of this square, then sew it like this. So that's basically how to do the sewing method, and this is what they call invisible joining method, the invisible sewing method. Yeah, just going into the back loop of the squares. Yeah, that's basically it. So this is how the stitch is looking like, how the joining is looking like. So just continue this process, and I'll meet you guys when I'm there. So I'll show you how to join with the single crochet method. And when you reach the end, just insert your hook there. And then what I like to do, how to secure, I'll just pass my hook through here like this, then tighten it. You can go into it twice to ensure it's secure, and then cut your yarn. So this is how the invisible method looks like. This is how it looks like. So let me show you how to do the single crochet method, and then you're now going to make your decision on which one you want to use to join your granny squares. So yeah, so remember we were using the 4.5 millimeter crochet hook. Yeah, so I'm going to reduce my hook size to a smaller one. You can even decide to go with 3.5 millimeter crochet hook depending on what you want, or you can even decide to go with 3, but probably I think I might go for 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. That's what I might probably go for. I might just use the 3.5 instead of the 4 millimeter. Then the same thing you're going to turn these two to the wrong side like this, and then place them together like this. And then you're now going to take your yarn, your hook, insert your hook into the first chain here, also insert your hook into the first chain here. Then take your yarn and then pull it through. It through like this, and then tie it. Oopsie, sorry about that. So I tied it off camera, and then after you tie, you can be working with this your strand. So you're not going to insert your hook into that same spot that you tied your yarn like this. Pull up a loop, make a chain of 1, and then you're not going to be going into every stitch, to every double crochet stitch of this first square, going to the next, the double crochet of this second square like this, and then make a single crochet there like this. And I don't know if you can see it properly. Go into the next stitch, next double crochet of this square, go into the next double crochet of this square, and then you make a single crochet. So please, when you're doing this, ensure that you're going in unison, or you're going in simultaneously. Yes, make sure it's equal. Yeah, so just keep doing that. Go into the single crochet of the double crochet of this square, go into the double crochet of this square, then make your single crochet. So that's basically what you're going to be doing. Just make one single crochet in every stitch of the 2 squares, yeah, simultaneously, and then I'll meet you guys when I am at the end and show you how it looks like using the single crochet method. And when you reach the end, you're just going to join it here, that first chain there, this, then make a chain of 1, then you cut your yarn like this. But this is how the single crochet joining method looks like. Yeah, and this is how the sewing method looks like. I don't know if you can see it properly because of the black yarn, but yeah. So I think I'll be going with the single crochet joining method instead of the sewing method. Yeah, I prefer to use the single crochet joining method instead of the sewing method. So yeah, just basically join all your squares using any of the method. So I'm just going to join here like this. I'm going to loosen the sewing method and then join here and then join here like this. So just basically join all your squares together. I'll meet you guys when I'm there. Okay, so in order to determine where to start your sewing from, this is 5 squares, so I'm doing it like this. So I'll just place it under here. So you can probably take your measuring tape. Yes, take your measuring tape and measure from here to here, because this is where I want this thing to stop. So check the coverage here. So this is measuring about 12 to 12.5 inches, 12 to 12. Then I want to do it in such a way that these 3 squares are going to be in the middle. I don't know if you can see, these 3 squares are going to be in the middle. So I will just take here and then probably measure to like 12.5. Yes, this way I'll just keep doing it, measuring to like 12.5. So in order to make sure that it's equal, any square you're starting from here, if you're starting from the square here, I don't know how to put it here, if you're starting from the square here, you're going to also start from the square here. So any stitch you're starting from here, you should also start it from this side too. I don't know, let me show you what I mean by that. Trying to explain that time was that take your measuring tape, measure from where you want to start your sewing from. So since mine is like 12.5 to like 13 inches, so I'm starting mine from here down to here. Yes, I'm starting my sewing from here down to this point. I don't know if you can see it properly, but so I'm starting from here down to this point because it's measuring from here to here is about 12.5 inches. So if you're someone that's bustier, so you can just be checking it. Yes, be checking it, and you can start from here down to here for your boobs coverage. Yeah, so it depends on how busty you are. So use your measuring tape to check where you want to start from. So I'm going to be starting from this point here. So for my work now, I'm going to be changing my hook size. I don't want to be using a 4.5mm crochet hook for this part because we are going to be making use of the half double crochet stitches. So I'm going to be changing my hook size to something smaller, but you can decide to still stick to the 4.5mm crochet hook. Anything you decide to do is okay, it's fine, but I want to switch to a hook that is slightly smaller. So yeah, so the first thing we are going to do, we are going to insert your hook through this space here. That is that chain 2 space, but it's no longer chain 2 space because remember we sewed into that part, so it's now becoming a chain 1 space. So you're going to take your hook and then pull it through like this. Just going to tie that, and then because we are going to be working half double crochet stitch in every part till the end, so take this, insert your hook under here, pull up a loop, make a chain of 2 like this. And this chain 2 doesn't count as a stitch. Then yarn over, make 1 half double crochet stitch in under that chain 1 space like this, and then go into the next stitch. It's 1 half double crochet like this, go into the next it's 1 half double crochet, the next 1 half double crochet, the next 1 half double crochet. This is what you should be having. So I'm just going to be making 1/2 double crochet stitch in every stitch I have here. And when you reach this point, I'll meet you guys when I reach this point, so I'll show you what to do there. You just insert 1 double crochet, 1/2 double crochet into this part, but I will show you what to do when I get there. So when I get to this point, I'm just going to insert only 1/2 double crochet under this chain 2 space, under that chain 1 space, like this. Sorry about that. 1/2 double crochet under that space. Then I'm going to go in between here, this sewing here, then insert 1/2 double crochet so it will have more coverage. I don't want there to be spaces. And then going to the under this chain 1 space with 1/2 double crochet, and going to the next space with the normal stitches. That's basically how to do it. So just keep making 1/2 double crochet in each stitch until you get to this point, and I'll meet you guys when I'm there. Yeah, if you don't understand, you can backward it to replay it. Yeah. Okay, so I have gotten to the end here. This is the last half double crochet. This is the last half double crochet. So, but one other thing too, you must not necessarily use half double crochet for the coverage area, for the boobs coverage area. You can also decide to use double crochet stitch, any stitch that you decide to use, but just play with your stitches. Yes, so I'm just going to make a chain of 1, then turn my work, then yarn over, make 1/2 double crochet in each stitch. Yes, so I'll just continue to make 1/2 double crochet in each stitch. Make 1/2 double crochet in each stitch until the end. You're not making any increases at any point. Just make 1/2 double crochet in each stitch like this until the end, and I'll meet you guys when I'm here. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to make 1/2 double crochet. I'm just going to make a chain of 1 and turn my work, and then continue to make 1/2 double crochet. So you're just going to keep repeating this process until you reach your desired length for your coverage area. Here, I'm just going to keep repeating this process, and then when I'm done, I'll tell you how many rows I did for my coverage area. Yeah, so just keep repeating this process of chaining 1, turn your work, make 1/2 double crochet, reach the end, chain 1, turn your work, make 1/2 double crochet in each stitch until the end, until you get your desired length, and I'll meet you guys when I am there. Okay guys, so I am done with my rows, and I did 18 rows in total. Yeah, I did 18 rows in total. If you don't know how to count, let's count it together. I don't know if you can see it. Let me zoom it in so you can know how to count. So this is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 rows in total. Yeah, so don't mind how this is looking, because we are going to like squeeze this part in the middle, and then we are going to form our top. I just really love how this is coming out. Yes, so the next thing we are going to do, we are going to be making our straps, and I'm going to be making a strap long enough that is going to be able to crisscross to this point and to this point. Yeah, so just make a strap long enough. Yeah, so I'll meet you guys when I am done with my strap. Yeah, the strap just consists of making chains. Yeah, okay, so I made 230 chains in total. Yes, I made 230 chains in total for my strap. So this strap, you can decide to leave it like this, or if you don't want to leave your strap like, you want it to have like, you want it to be a bit thicker, you can decide to go back into this chain with slip stitches, or any one of your choice. But I want to go in my own with slip stitches. I'm just going to go back into every chain with a slip stitch. I don't know if you saw what I did. I just kept the first chain, then went into the second chain with a slip stitch. So I want my strap to be a bit thicker, and it is. So I'm just going to go into every chain with a slip stitch until I reach this part. I will show you what to do. I'm at the end of the chain, I'm just going to put a slip stitch in this last chain here. I'll put a slip stitch in this first stitch here, like this. And then make a chain of 1. And then cut my yarn. Yeah, here's what I'm having here. Then I'm just going to repeat the same thing. I'm just going to insert my hook into this first stitch. This first stitch here. Then take my yarn. I'm not going to go back into that loop. Take my hook, take it back into that loop, and then repeat the same thing. Make a chain, make the same 230 chains, and then I'll go back with a slip stitch like I did here. So that's basically, so repeat what you did here for this part. Then I'll meet you guys when I'm done with my chain, and then I'll show you how to scrunch this part together. Then we are done. Okay, so I am done with my straps, and then I sewed in my loose ends. So the next thing you have to do, okay, before we go there, before we proceed to that, let me just show you how to tie this at the back. So you're going to just basically fold this like this, and then crisscross. Take your hook and pull this through. This through as well, and then yeah, like this. That's basically it. So let me show you how to tie it at the back. So let me show you how to form that chunk at the front. So I do that, fold this like this so you can determine the middle part. Fold it down like that, and then you're going to take your stitch marker and then mark the middle stitch. Mark the middle stitch, and then after that you're now going to place it down. That again, place it down like this. This is the middle stitch. You're going to place it down like this, and then when you're forming your chunk, just be going in the direction of your middle stitch like this. This is how I want mine to be, like so. I'm not going to take my darning needle, then I'm going to hold it down like this, then turn it to the back, and then go through here. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Turn it to the back, go through this part where the stitch marker is. It's always preferable you start from top so that you can determine the middle part properly, like this, and then pull it through. Most times some people, they decide to sew this, but I don't want to sew mine because there's a situation whereby I might want to remove this, so I'll just tie it like that. Basically, yeah, just tie it down like this. I'm not sewing mine so that I'll be able to adjust it from time to time. So just cut this off. Yeah. This is what your work should be looking like now. This is what your work should look like now. To the end of this tutorial. I really hope you found this helpful and easy to follow. Yes, so if you have any questions or you had anything that was confusing, please drop your questions in the comment section. I'll be answering all your questions there now. And I really like the fact that this is a very easy top to make, and you can make this in a day. You can make this in a day. So please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in my next tutorial. Bye.